Hey guys. So last week, a student asked me, does the weather influence my horse's mood? And if it does, what do I do with that knowledge? So first of all, yes, it definitely influences your horse's mood, which is normal because your horse is very close to nature. If we have a bad weather day, we can just take our business inside and ignore the weather. Our horses usually stay out. So just like other animals, horses tend to know when there's going to be a drastic change in weather. They know when we are going to have a stormy night because they notice the differences in air pressure, like we usually don't because we're not paying attention. So since I tend to visit multiple horses in a day, I can notice the differences. Like yesterday, it was starting to be a bit windy, and after visiting my own horses, at the first, and definitely at the second student I came to, I noticed how the horses were all behaving a little bit more edgy. And they all show it in a different way. Some just go on adrenaline more easily, some are more spooky, maybe a little bit more rebellious than they usually are. And if you pay close attention to your horse, you can notice the difference as well. And when you see that their behavior is different than it is normally, then ask yourself, okay, maybe he's not feeling well physically, or is there a very big change in weather, or maybe coming up? Now, if you do know this, you can pay attention to it and then make a slight change in your plan of action. If you know that the weather is going to be stormy tonight, for example, then don't do something that is already very difficult for you and your horse. Don't do important things. So if you know that trail riding is already difficult for you both because maybe your horse is a bit spooky or unconfident, then don't go trail riding today. Take it to a day where you know the weather is going to be all right. Because if you do it now, then you already have the difficulty of the trail, plus the difficulty of the weather on top of it. So do the trail riding on a day that the weather's quite all right, and then when the trail riding itself is not a problem anymore, you can do it on a day where the weather is not so well. Yeah, and then teach you and your horse a little bit more about that. So that does not mean that I never go out with my horses when the weather is not perfect, because let's be honest, the weather's almost never perfect. But when I know that the weather is not ideal, then I do things with my horses that I know we can already handle. And so I can handle the extra level of difficulty of the weather on top of it. Or, actually, sometimes I take my horses out when it's becoming a little bit stormy, and we do things that we can already do, just so we can practice doing it in a more difficult setting with the weather. Now, go out, play with it. Pay attention to your horse. Maybe his behavior is a little bit different because of the weather, but don't let yourself be frightened from it. Okay? You can still have fun and you can still learn. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel.